Hi, I'm Sam Lowe, performance coach with P4S Golf, where we drive golf performance. Today I want to talk to you about 3 exercises that are going to help you as a 50-plus-year-old golfer. Benefit your game, add a little bit of strength, and certainly some power to your golf game. By the way, I turned 50 last year, so these are the kinds of things that I incorporated into my own programming themselves. They help me out quite a bit for a couple of reasons, and probably 2 that are very important to us here at P4S. If you've worked with us at all, watched any of our videos at all, you've seen how we've discussed the benefits of the ability to press off with power. The chest pass is a big indicator of distance in golf. The second piece of that is the ability to create some ground force. So the first 2 exercises that I'm going to talk about will definitely cover those areas, and the third one is going to incorporate some power into your golf game, into strength and power incorporated into your hips, and then of course transfer that over to your golf game. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you exercise number 1. I'm going to demonstrate the bench press here. That's really going to set the stage for you in creating some pressing power, and again incorporating that into your golf swing. The ability to press is really a key function. I would call it a very functional movement away from not only the golf game but also in just regular life as well. So come on over here to the bench with me and I'll show you what I mean. I'm seated down here on the bench. I've got my feet flat on the floor. I'm going to lie back momentarily. Once I do, I'll go ahead and set my grip on the bar, and then I'll bang out a couple of reps here so you can see what I'm talking about. Go ahead. I'm going to lie back. I'm going to set my grip. My hands are going to be just about shoulder width apart. Once I've done that, my feet will go flat on the floor. I've got a lot of contact across my back all the way down here on the bench. I'm going to dismount the bar from the rack, squeeze my shoulder blades back a little bit to create some support. I'm going to lower the bar under control and then press with some power and force, trying to move the bar quickly up overhead. Now, as an older golfer, these movements benefit all golfers, of course, but as an older golfer, north of 50, we want to retain as much strength as possible. So if we haven't already built some strength, we still, believe it or not, we might, while our bodies aren't growing anymore, what we're doing is setting ourselves up to retain the strength and the muscle, most importantly, that we have. So that's part 1 right there, is the ability to press with force, setting ourselves up for, again, a little bit more distance on the golf swing. I've got part 2 for you. All right, exercise number 2 for our golfers that are north of 50, looking to add some benefit to their golf game. The second exercise I'm going to talk about is the deadlift. The deadlift is probably one of the most basic strength building exercises that exist. It is very functional for any number of reasons, but for our purposes here, there's a couple things that I want to point out for sure. 1, I'm picking something up heavy off the floor. I have to hinge forward in order to do that. And to make that happen, I've got to tighten my core. I've got to use my posterior chain, a group of muscles running from my ankles all the way back up to my neck, on the back of my body. If I engage those, I'm going to get my hips turned on. I'm going to build more strength, stability, and power just from the act of picking this barbell up off the floor. I want to make sure I'm being safe about it though, so I'm going to approach the barbell with my feet about hip width apart. I'm going to actually overemphasize and roll my shoulders back and start to create a little bit of tension in my upper back. I'm going to push my hips back to lower myself down to the barbell, set my grip at about shoulder width apart, roll the barbell to my shins, and literally stand up with the barbell in hand. Once I've gotten my hips all the way forward, my shoulders back behind the bar, I'm simply going to return it to the floor. Now, of course, you want to be smart about this. Make sure you've got a weight that works for you, and again, finding a good coach or programs such as ours here at P4S is going to facilitate that best, but make sure you're being safe with this type of equipment. All right, let me show you that move, the deadlift here from the side angle, so you've got a good picture of how that's going to look. Again, setting my grip, my shoulders are back, My shins are pretty straight up and down. And from there, I'm simply going to stand up. You'll notice my hips and shoulders right here are almost rising right at the same time. Again, my core is tight. Hips come forward, shoulders back behind the barbell. And then I place the barbell back on the floor. General reminder, we want to make sure that we're being safe with all this stuff. And speaking of which, make sure you check out our free mobility assessment. There's a link down in the description that'll give you all the information that you need to get in there, get that mobility assessment set up, see if you're ready to roll for something like the deadlift. All right, let me show you part 3 of the exercises that are good for a 50-year-old golfer. All right, here comes exercise number 3. Now we're gonna go a little non-conventional here, though I still like the functional theme of what we're getting ready to get into. So we've done our pressing, we've done our deadlifting, we've built up some strength in those areas. Now let's make some power. And how are we gonna do that? We're gonna grab the kettlebell here. The kettlebell's a great tool, very versatile. One kettlebell will go a long way. You don't need a lot of weight. And probably the most well-known exercise with the kettlebell would be the simple kettlebell swing. We're gonna take a little bit of what we did with the deadlift. We're gonna hinge, but we're gonna bring our hips forward with some power. So if I go ahead and I grab this kettlebell here, from the side, you can see I've assumed somewhat of a deadlift position. I'm gonna bring the kettlebell up off the floor. I've got my shoulders back, my core is tight, my glutes are actually tight as well. And I'm simply gonna lean forward, and then I'm going to snap my hips to create some momentum to get that kettlebell traveling up and down. And you'll see this a little better as I start to move here. So hips back, and hinge, and swing. My hands are hooks, my shoulders are simply holding the kettlebell where it needs to be. I'm snapping my hips forward, and the whole time I'm maintaining good control over the kettlebell. Let me show it to you from the front. And again, just a quick view from the front here with the swing. Shoulders are back, reaching down, standing the kettlebell up, and then creating power with the hips and just swinging about shoulder height will do the job there. So again, what we're learning to do in a relatively safe manner is express power through the hips. I'm putting myself in somewhat of a golf posture, not only with the swing, but also with the deadlift. So I'm building up some stability in that area as well. Those are the 3 exercises: the bench or some type of press off of the chest, the deadlift, and of course the kettlebell swing. Very beneficial for golfers over the age of 50 to build, retain, and maintain your strength. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe below.